Hi, welcome to the Ingrid Chronicles. Today in my What's for Dinner edition, I'm gonna make some homemade biscuits. Oh my gosh. Whew, you don't wanna miss this. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So I am gonna make what's for dinner is gonna be a country style dinner. You're gonna have your fried chicken, which I'm gonna prepare in my Ninja Foodie air fryer or air crisp. I'm also gonna make some homemade mashed potatoes, homemade biscuits with a side of gravy, corn on the cob. It's just gonna go down today, family style. We're gonna have a good time with conversation and eating good food. This is a very simple, easy recipe to follow, one of our favorites. All you're gonna need is 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. So I transferred all of my dry ingredients into my food processor. The reason is that I do not have a pastry cutter so that I can cut the butter into the dry ingredients. If you have a pastry cutter on hand, you can skip this step. If you are using your food processor, you want to make sure that you add your flour, baking powder, and salt, and then just pulse it a couple times just to mix in all of the ingredients. Now you're gonna wanna take 1/2 cup or 1 stick of unsalted butter and you're gonna cube it. Please make sure that the butter is very cold. So do not take the butter out and let it sit and at room temperature. You can either let it sit in the refrigerator or you can put it in the freezer for about 5 minutes just for it to get very cold. Then you are going to cut it up and you're gonna cube it and you're gonna put it in your food processor and you're gonna pulse it several times. However, as I previously mentioned, if you have your pastry cutter, then you can use that to cut the butter in. Now you are going to take out all of the ingredients and put it back into a mixing bowl. And you are going to make a well, okay? Make a well in the center of the mixture. And you are going to pour 1 cup of buttermilk, okay? And then you are gonna drizzle some honey on top. So you're gonna wanna use about 1 to 2 teaspoons of honey. And then you are gonna fold everything together with a large rubber spatula, or if you have a spoon, whatever you have on hand. But you're gonna wanna fold everything together until it comes together. You don't wanna over mix this, remember you're just folding everything in. You don't wanna overwork the dough, okay? The dough will become shaggy, it will become crumbly, and even some wet spots, and that's okay. That's when you are going to flour your work surface and you are going to place the dough on top of a, once again, well-floured surface. Make sure to have your hands floured as well. As you begin to bring the ingredients or the dough together, it's going to become very sticky, so it's a good idea to have some extra flour nearby just for you to continue to flour your hands and the work surface as you bring the dough together. This next step is the fun part. You are going to use a floured rolling pin so that you can flatten your dough about 3¼ inch thick. And you're going to try to form it into a rectangle as best as you can. And then you're going to fold one side into, the center. And then you're going to, once again, flour your rolling pin generously. And then you're going to repeat that process. making sure that you flatten your dough to about 3 to 4 1/4 inch thick. Okay, once you have done that, you are going to cut into your dough with a biscuit cutter. I didn't have a biscuit cutter, so what I did is that I used a mason jar lid. And so that is what I use whenever I make biscuits, okay? And then you're gonna continue to repeat the process after you cut your biscuits, folding it and rolling it out. And then you are going to continue to cut out the biscuits until you use up all of the dough. If you love this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment down below and let me know what are your thoughts. Leaving comments really does help my channel, and I truly appreciate it whenever you leave feedback. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So now it's time to arrange your biscuits in a cast iron pan. If you don't have a cast iron pan, you can use a baking sheet. You just want to make sure that you place the biscuits close to each other. This will help the biscuits have a nice rise to them. And then you're going to take any leftover buttermilk and you're just going to brush that buttermilk on top of your biscuits. If you no longer have any buttermilk or on hand after preparing this recipe, you can just melt some butter and you can just brush it on top of the biscuits as well. I forgot to mention earlier to preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Once your biscuits are prepared and ready for the oven, you're going to want to bake them for about 15 to 20 minutes or until they are golden brown. Once they're done, you're going to want to remove them from the oven, and then you can brush the warm biscuits with some more melted butter, or you can add some honey to your butter just to give it like that sweet taste, and you can brush it on top, and there you have it. These biscuits are my go-to biscuits for any occasion, whether breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Until next time, guys. Bye.